Thank you very, very much. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, all cabinet secretaries and government officials and private sector, development partners, and our young people who are here today, good morning. Good morning. I think we were offered such a good breakfast today, but more than that, I'm so excited. Though it was a very cold morning, it felt warm because of the agenda that we are speaking today, the young people, the youth and jobs. And nothing is as exciting for any country when we're talking about that and actually delivering. As KEPSA, we are no longer just an advocacy organization. Climate change and green growth, attract investments, and strengthen enterprise competitiveness, empower women and youth, support SMEs, promote ethical governance. And really, this is part of our mandate. So we no longer just say what business needs, but it's really rolling our sleeves and getting to the ground. And so, Your Excellency, before I really say why we are so excited about being part of this organization, I want to take us down memory lane, and especially for the young people here today, why this will work, and that because we have learned lessons before, and that it will cover the whole country. It's not an Nairobi program. And I'll begin where our journey began. 2011 to 2016, we came to the realization that as private sector, we cannot just encourage our businesses to create jobs, but we have to engage in projects and programs that really bring this to fruitfulness. Because our businesses do employ and they hire as often as they can and the mandates they have, but we also have to do something very different. And so we began what was called the Kenya Youth Empowerment Project then, with the financing of the World Bank and working with the government and KEPSA delivery. The project targeted employment youth aged 15 to 29 then, with a minimum of 8 years of schooling. We implemented at that point, because this was a pilot, only Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu. But we were able to reach 14,000 beneficiaries with life skills, core business skills, and workplace internship training. And roughly, out of that project, because we followed even after, 8 out of the 10 participants went into gainful employment or self-employment. And beyond the numbers are stories that demonstrate what opportunity can achieve. And I'll give you 2 stories. Henry Mwangi, a beneficiary from Nairobi's Dandora estate, went on to establish Waste to Energy Limited, now employing more Kenyans, even securing 300 million Kenya shillings tender to build a biodiversity system for the National Housing Corporation. And I wish he was here today. Vincent, a diploma holder in human resource management who had job hunted for 3 years without success, was placed through KYP with Diversity Eastern and Central Africa Limited and was absorbed into the company, now serving as an assistant human resource manager. Together, their stories, with one launching enterprise and another being absorbed into a private sector employer, are proof of what the first door can do. And that's what we look forward. I'll also give you another story from that. A young girl from Mombasa, which we have followed for years, came into the program, got the life skills and the on-job skills, went back to her mother, who had one sewing machine, and she started with that. But because of the skills she had learned, she was able, and the stipend she was getting, she continued to save half of that stipend. She bought 6 other sewing machines and started working. The work became so much that she came back to us and said, I need more money to buy more machines. And we introduced her to the youth fund then. And then she was able to get youth fund and able to start doing even uniforms for some of the government offices. And those are the stories that encourage our hearts to do more. But beyond KYP, we thought the environment is changing. And the nature of work is also changing. And so we partnered with Ministry of ICT and MasterCard Foundation and other stakeholders to implement what is called the Ajira Digital Program, Kenya's flagship digital jobs initiative, reaching all the 47 counties, including the refugee camps, Jira Digital has registered more than 600 users on their Jira Digital portal, trained over 400,000 youth in market-aligned digital skills, and facilitated over 470,000 direct and indirect digital opportunities. This has contributed to a fourfold growth in the number of young people earning online through digital work countrywide, from about 600 youth in 2019 to 2.4 million Kenyans today. This program has deliberately ensured inclusion by supporting women, persons with disability, refugees, as I mentioned, were in the refugee camps, Kakuma. We are building partnerships building partnerships with more than 300 employers, BPO firms, digital labor platforms, and training institutions. What this taught us, again, I will give you one story, and I hope you can find him. He's called Kelvin Mudhomi, a former casual tour guide in Embu County. Built his freelance profile on opportunities because they know, but we have to start projects and nuance to say we shall take the first 500 here to say that we are part of this program. I will not ask all of them to stand, but they're here, Your Excellency, for you to speak to them. And so as I complete and as I conclude, none of this has been achieved by one organization alone. As I mentioned, all those other programs, it's been partnership. Each of them, we have partnered with government, and we've also partnered with development partners. And so my challenge is to the private sector first, that please come on board, more of you. We have to, our target is in three years to reach at least 100,000 young people. We cannot do without you, the private sector. For the development partners that are represented here, we need you. As you have heard me mention in all the other programs, the only reason we succeeded is that you are part of us. You're in this country, you're part of our development. And so, to the young Kenyans, I leave you with this word. This platform is built for you and with you in mind. Keep showing up the way you've shown up before in other programs, and do what you know how to do best. Give your best. Get employed by these companies, start your own job. Those maybe with certificates and diplomas, as we saw with other programs, you may want to go back to school and get your degree and move on so that you can get better opportunities. So karibuni, and we really look forward to working with you.